still remember the whole interview from start to finish, and I can still remember the mistakes that I made, and it just shows how much that you dwell on the mistakes that you make. And I don't remember, uh, I I don't remember as well all the things that I done right, although I obviously done enough right to get into the university. There, you come out and you remember everything that you done wrong. And immediately after my interview at Glasgow University, I sat in the car and I didn't drive for about an hour and a half. I think I almost cried. I just felt like I totally messed it up. And I just thought, okay, I'm going to have to think of what's my backup plan for when this all comes out that I've failed this. Am I going to bother to try another year? I was almost certain that I wasn't going to get into medical school that year. And that's an experience that almost every other student in my class now had at the time of their interview. So if you come out and you feel like that, it doesn't necessarily mean that you didn't get it. I think it's normal to feel like that. I remember my interview with Kenny for the access course, and he was like, what's your backup if you don't get into medicine?" And I was just like, "I don't have a backup. It's medicine or nothing." He was like, "You need to have a backup, mate." I was like, "Oh really?" He was. I remember my mentor was just like, "Don't. I I don't want to do anything else, and if I don't get into medicine, then I don't know what I'm going to do. I'd probably just go and do something else completely." What if you're not successful, or what happens when you're met with failure? It can be difficult, and it's something that you need to have a really mature and balanced mindset and approach about, because it's something that's going to happen whether you're in swap or whether you're a medical student at any part of the process, or even as we learn in medical school going forward. There's going to be times where you make mistakes, and there's going to be times where you fail to spot something or do the right thing at the right time, and it's going to be part of the career going forward. And so you need to learn how to deal with that, and you're as well learning how to deal with it now, or start learning how to deal with it now. So the best way I've found to deal with it, this is something that I've experienced a couple of times, is through reflection and learning from your mistakes, thinking about how did that make me feel, going through the reflective cycle and thinking about what you're going to do next time. There might be a wee prep for HE module on it. And something that we learn about in first year as a medic is the Gibbs reflective cycle, which is all sounds a little bit psychological and like how does that really relate to my situation? But when you start using it and start practicing how to use it, then it becomes amazingly helpful, and making mistakes just becomes part of their learning process. And if you're not successful in getting into medical school, or if you're not successful in getting from one year into the next whilst you're in medical school, or if you didn't get the job that you applied for, then you can use these reflective tools to think about how you're going to approach the next step and move forward, and how you can best use what you've learned to go on and get better. And whether you're going to try again or you're going to try and move on to something else, you can use those skills that you've learned from the interview to finding out that I had got the place in university was probably about 4 months, maybe a wee bit longer. I think it might have been really May, June, by the time that we really knew that that was our place and it had all been confirmed and the emails were getting sent out. And it's always a really nerve wracking process of you're working towards something that you're not even sure that you're going to get. And you need to try and keep working towards it, even though you think the interview went badly. You're still trying to keep your head down and trying to keep your trying to keep yourself in the game. When the news came through that I'd got the place, I was totally ecstatic and it just it was amazing. And I phoned up my family, spoke to them. I think I was sitting in my bedroom at the time, and I just got an email through my phone. And as soon as it came through, it was just something about the email. It was something about your university application has been updated, and I knew that it was going to be this is it. I'm going to find out whether I've got the place or not. And I clicked on it. I got the place and just immediately sent it on to my mum. And then I think I just celebrated for ages. It was amazing. Um, and I just, it was different from how I felt going into finding out I had the place in access medical studies, because finding out I got the place in access medical studies, I was more afraid because I didn't feel like I was ready. Whereas getting the place at the university and getting into medicine, it was something that I'd worked really hard for and I felt like I was ready for at that time. And I would have been disappointed if I had not got the place. And so it was just sheer elation. And yeah, I remember that I think I actually was just physically jumping up and down.